In this video, we are going to find the class performance based on the highest and lowest score of students in class. Hello, I am Jagan from Grow with Data. I am posting this video to share my knowledge in SQL with you. If this assists you in your interview preparation in any ways, I will be happy. Let's see the data set and we can talk about the question in detail. So we are given a scores table which got student ID, the name and the score for the 3 assignments. So we have to find the total marks of each student, like by adding the score of the 3 assignments, and then we have to get the highest and the lowest score and find the difference. Let's create the table first. Okay, let's comment it out. So if you see the data, we have 6 students, right? So when you see their score, the first one is 222, the second one is 230, the third one is 207, the fourth one is 151, the fifth one is the lowest, and the last one is 153. So out of this, 230 is the highest, 119 is the lowest. So the difference is 111, right? So the steps we have to follow is, first you get the total score for each student, get the highest and the lowest mark, then find the difference. And the output has to be the difference in score, which is the 111. Okay. So let's break down the steps and go with the SQL. Let's start the basic SQL. Okay. Select from scores, we say student ID, sum of assignment 1 plus assignment 2 plus assignment 3 as total score. So from the scores table, since aggregation, group by 1. So when you run this, you are going to get the scores 22, 230, 207, 19, 153, right? So do you think the SQL is right? You got the answer, right? So what are we doing here? We are having 3 columns, we are adding it, on top of it we are doing an aggregation. So what happens if I just delete this? So I am just adding the columns and I am getting the student ID. So the same. So what we are doing, we literally do the aggregation of 3 columns, right? We are not doing the group by rows. We are just adding, for every student there is only one record and we are adding 3 columns. So there's no point of using an aggregation function. Since we just want to add 3 columns, by default we just say okay, the student ID and then sum of the columns. If it is a multiple rows, then sum makes a difference and you group by the student ID. But this student ID has only one record, so there's no point of using the sum. Okay, just keep that in mind. Okay, so we can use this as a reference table or CTE. We say with total scores as this. We just say select max of the total score as highest score, and then you say min of total score as lowest score from total scores. Since we don't have a non-aggregated column, there is no use of using an aggregation, right? So out of all this total scores, we are going to get the min and max. So no need to aggregate the group by part. Okay. So we got 230 as the highest, 119 as the lowest. So we used this as our second reference table. You can say score the boundaries as, okay. So now we got the student ID and the total score, and then we get the min and max of it. Now we have to find the difference, highest score minus the lowest score as difference in score from score boundaries. So we get 1 1 1. So we just literally converted the 3 steps we discussed. First you find the student and the total score, and then find the min and max, and then find the difference between min and max, right? So never try this in the interview part of it. Even before you execute the code, they'll just show the door and ask you to walk out. Okay, this is very basic, so don't try this. Let's try to simplify it. So how to simplify? So we have 2 CTE tables, right? We have total scores, score boundaries, and then we are doing the difference. Do we really need the student ID here? No, we just need the score and their difference. So what we do is, instead of getting the student ID and for every student we get the aggregation, right? No need for it. We just say select the maximum of the total value and the min of the total value from the scores table, and then this one is total scores, right? So what we did, instead of every student and their total score, we simply say of all the data set, get me the maximum of the 3 score and the minimum of the 3 scores, right? So it just takes you to all this total scores and get the minimum and maximum, and then it gets the difference. So it gives the same answer here, right? Okay, so the next step is, do we really do a CTE table for max, min, and then do the difference? No need, right? So we are getting the score here. Why can't I directly say max value minus the min value from the scores? I don't need the CTE table. So it says lowest score because we haven't changed it. So difference in score, it gives me the same answer. So first we have had 2 CTE tables, then we reduced to 1, and this is the most simplified version of I know of. So we can do different ways, but for me, up to me, this is one of the better solution. Okay, let's talk about one more way of doing it. I just want to show you how the SQL works. You say select max of this value as highest score from scores. So this will give the max, right? So maximum value 230. Same way I can just use min here and use this itself as a column. Select max from this minus select min as the difference in score. You can directly use the max and min as a table subquery, and then we can get the difference. In some places even this works, right? So based on your need, you can just play around with the SQL, but I prefer to say that when is the interview point of it, this is the better way to impress the interviewer. Okay, fine. Now we talked about 3-4 ways of doing it. Let's see how to use the Windows function. For this example, Windows function might not be the right approach, but just to get the understanding of it, let's go with the Windows function. So previously we did the student ID and the aggregation, right? STUDENT, the student ID, and then sum of the assignment 1, 2 and 3 as the assignment score from scores. As I said, there is no need for sum, you can just do directly and no aggregation required. So we have the student ID and this. So we use this overall score, you can say. Use a CTE table and then select the assignment score, you can say, and then you get the assignment score and then you get the rank of it, rank over order by the assignment score descending as highest score. Okay, and then the normal way of doing it, lowest to highest order, we say lowest score from overall scores. Okay, so what we did, for every student we did the aggregation of 3 columns and then we sort based on the aggregation score descending, so the highest score comes first, so you get the score, and the lowest score comes first when you do the normal ascending order. So if you see this, 230 becomes the highest score and 119 gives the lowest score. So we can use this as another CTE table. We can say score limit as this, and then we can say select case when the highest score equal to 1, then you get the assignment score, end as top score, and say same way we can just say when the lowest score equal to 1, then you can say the lower score from the score limit CTE table. So here what happens, it's throwing an error, case when then assignment score, check the manual here in the slow score, so there is some problem, case when highest score equal, then go end as top score, comma. Okay, we are missing the comma here. Okay, so what happens, it gets the highest score, the other values becomes null, the lowest score, other values becomes null. We see in the previous example how to make it multiple rows like this into single one. We just simply say max of this as the highest score and max of this as the lowest score, right? So now you get the highest score as 230, lowest score as 119 in a single row. So instead of 2 different columns, you can simply say the highest score minus lowest score as the difference in score, right? So we get the 119. So here if you want to reduce the CTE table, right? So instead of getting student ID and the rank, how we did the first example, right? So we directly get the assignment 1, 2 and 3 So instead of assignment score, we just directly use this here. So we don't need this guy. So this one starts with scores, right? So we remove the student level information, we just get the rank here and we can run it, score limit. So what is the error here? Unknown column assignment score. Okay, what we did, okay, select assignment score when highest score equal to 1, then from score limit select assignment score here, highest score equal to 1, then assignment score end. So what are we missing here? Let's check. So this one, okay, so it just says some issue here, unknown column assignment score. Okay, from the scores table we don't have the assignment score, right? We got assignment 1, 2 and 3. So we just say 1, 2 as 3 as the assignment score, right? So instead of having a CTE table with student level, we just get the assignment score and then we rank on the same part of it and then we did the scoring part here. Okay, so up to me this is the easier way. For this example, the Windows function makes it little bit complex, right? Okay, so even here we can do one more step. We can just try to reduce it, but we can stop here. I am going to add one more expectation of the output, right? So here we just said only the difference in score like this. So what if I need all the student IDs and their total score and I want to display the difference in score, the 111 in all the records. Like the expected output is like this. I want all the students here, I want their total score and the difference in score has to be shown up in all the rows. So how will you do that? So for example, let's keep this here, let's move this up, right? Okay, so this is what our expected output. So we have to get the student ID, the total score and the difference has to come on all the scores. Let's first get the basic SQL. Select student ID and the assignment 1, 2 and 3 as total score from scores, right? So this is our basic SQL, right? So if I want to get the difference, what basically we try to do, we just say with all data as, let's keep this as a CTE table, we say select student ID total score, and what if I say max of total score minus min of total score, total underscore score as difference in score. Okay, so that's what we did before, right? From all data, since we use the aggregation, we have to use group by 1, 2, right? So what are we doing? For every student, we are getting the total score here, and the previous SQL, what we did, max of the score minus min of the score, right? So max minus min. That's what the answer is. So we just tried that, max minus min. So what will happen? It just gives you zeros, right? The difference in score is zeros. The problem is we are aggregating at the student ID level and the total score. So for student ID and total score, the difference is going to be the same, right? So max of total score and min of total score is going to be 222 for this record, right? Because we are aggregating at student ID and total score, and we have only one record. So the max and min is going to give the same answer. So how will I bring it? I can get the max and min as a different CTE table and then use it, or there's a small twist here. We can simply say do a Windows function minus this. Since it's a Windows function, no need for group by. Now if you see it, you get the difference in score for it. So what we did, we just take the student ID, total score, and with that window, right, the student ID and total score, within this window you find the maximum total score and don't order by or anything, right? So the overall score out of the 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Out of the 6 total score, get me the maximum and get me the minimum when I use the Windows function over, right? So in this scenario, our Windows function is going to help us, right? If I take this Windows function out, it's going to take for every record, right? So max of the student ID 309, what is the max? 222. What is the min? 222. So when you subtract, it's going to be 0. But if I use the over, the Windows part of it, it takes the whole window, all the 6 scores, and then it takes the max and then min. So now you know the difference where to use the Windows function. If this is not the case, if directly they ask for the total max and min, I vote for this SQL. Hope you like this video and thanks for watching.